Deep within the heart of Ontario's wild backcountry lies a place where maps start to fade and trails turn to whispers. This is Algonquin Park, 7,600 square kilometers of untamed wilderness. And hidden within its borders are lakes rumored to hold the holy grail of Canadian fishing.
That's a beauty. Huge female.
Giant brook trout.
Look at that.
There's a 20-inch native Algonquin brook trout.
No records, no reports, just rumors. Stories passed between paddlers and old-timers sitting around roaring campfires. This is the Average Joe's fishing show, and this season we're headed off the beaten path, deep into the unknown, with nothing but canoes, cameras, and a dream.
Look at that.
No guides, no guarantees. Just us, the wilderness, and a chance, maybe, at the fish of a lifetime. This is season 1 of Algonquin Unknown. Brookies or bust.
Look at that.
Lyle, hey!
Welcome back. We are doing another Brookies or bust. The Algonquin Unknown. We are going deep, and I mean deep, into the unknown.
Give us a rundown. What are we going to do today?
We are bushwhacking hardcore, probably, I think it's 2 kilometers. And we're on the roughest road. I guess it's not that rough, it's just pretty closed in until we can get as far as we can go. Paddling, I think 1 lake, and then bushwhacking 2 kilometers to the lake that we want to fish. So it's an old stalker lake back in the 50s. There's no records of it currently having trout. And part of this Algonquin Unknown Brookies or Bust is seeing if these old lakes that have no records still have fish.
We made it. Right at sunrise. Look at that for prime time right there. All right, so we are in July. This time of year, as I've said before, a sonar is very important. I've got my deeper, I'm just setting it up now. Such a simple, easy setup though. Light, doesn't take up barely any room in your pack. It literally takes that long to clip on, and the same amount of time to screw it onto your canoe. There. Fish finder is ready. All I have to do is hook up my phone now. Oh, and if you noticed this sick new hat I'm wearing, this Average Joe's Fishing Show hat, you can get yourself a hat. Send us a message if you're looking for a snapback or a flex fit hat, and we can get you that. Sweaters, shirts, whatever you want. If you want underwear, we'll get you underwear. Just let us know. We're taking orders for clothes. All right, well, I'm rigging up my rod. I might as well tell you what I'm using today. So, as always, I've really fell in love with this rod this year. I'm going to be using the Shimano Sensolite. It is an 8-foot light action rod, and it is just wicked for brook trout. It's got lots of play in it, so that I've actually noticed this year my percentage of fish that I'm actually hooking into when I get bites trolling has increased because of this rod. That is my guess anyways. It just, you know, it's got that bend in it, and it just absorbs those head shakes and really helps you to capitalize on bites. I'm going to be using that, and it is paired up with the Sedona 2500 HG reel. And then on the end of my line, I just bought a whole bunch of new flicker minnows, Lyle. When I was up in Temagami, I stopped at Gramps. On the end of my line, I'm going to be putting on a brand new flicker minnow, and this one I think is going to be a killer.
Oh yeah.
It looks exactly like a sucker. This is the 3.5 inch flicker minnow, and they are, on the package it says they dive between 14 and 18 feet. Now we found they run about 12, but I guess that can vary based on a few different things. So it is 6:20 in the morning, and we are officially going to start fishing right now. Just got to figure out some depths, find the spot, and get on them. Here we go. We have the deeper running. Immediately after coming out of that swampy bay that we came to the lake at, it dropped to 30 feet. So, box number 1, there is depth. We've got that crossed off. We haven't noticed any bait yet, but we haven't really been inshore.
I saw a leech.
You saw a leech?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. They can eat leeches. So we're gonna try and coast in that same range we've been having luck the last month or so, in that 15 to 20 foot range. Now from what I'm seeing already so far, this lake comes up and down a lot. We just came up from 25 into 11, and now we're going back down to 25. Straight up.
Yeah, this lake is weird, eh? Up and down and different shore.
Yeah, it's very marshy, swampy, as you can see behind us. Lots of grass, lily pads. By no means is it screaming trout to me.
No, it screams bass.
Yeah, someone should put bass in here.
Yeah.
Not a super hard reading on the deeper. As you can see, the blue bottom with the color palette that I have on signifies a soft reading. When you hit orange and red, that's a hard reading or hard bottom, so rock. So what we're gonna look for is some rocky, kind of like rocky fingers would be ideal. The shoreline to our left right here. The shoreline to our left right here looks nice and rocky and fairly steep. So we're in 23 feet of water and we're only about 30 feet from shore. So we got lots of depth to work with.
As we're coming into this corner, sounds like there's a spring creek coming in here. So that could be another box to check off for spawning habitat. It could very well spawn in here if there is trout. You always need those little feeder streams.
Have to see it though to know.
You have to see it to know, but just listening to it, there is flowing water into this lake. From the maps, this would be a headwater system. So you would think it would have trout being headwaters. Hard to know. So I just kind of wanted to touch on a few things of maybe why we picked this lake and a few other different items. I guess reason number one why we picked this lake is it's It was fairly easy access for the most part by vehicle for most of the way. In an overlooked area, as you've seen at the start, that road we came in on probably hasn't been traveled in 15 years. And yeah, it's an old stalker lake from the 50s. And Algonquin, back in the day, a lot of times they stalked over natural populations. And in some instances, the stocked lakes naturalized, which is kind of the lakes that we're trying to find. Essentially that this lake was stocked, and there was, obviously we found that there's depth and Spring Creek, good little area for maybe spawning to happen. So yeah, a few things checked the box, and that's kind of why we decided to come in here.
One of the major variables that we aren't able to ourselves figure out is oxygen levels in lakes. So like, from talking to somebody after filming episode 1 of this series, we found out that the lake from episode 1 was likely a low oxygen lake, so it probably can't support fish through the warmer months. Now this lake could be the exact same thing, where yes, there's inflowing water and you know it looks good, it's kind of the headwater of a system, but at the same time it might have no oxygen, and therefore the fish just die off. They, like, once they were stocked in, they would die off, you know, within a summer period. Now if the lake does have good oxygen, then it could hold a population if there was proper spawning.
Yeah, that's another thing, is proper spawning. With it being so marshy around the shore, it's either marsh or rock face. So there's not really nice, like, brook trout need to spawn on nice gravelly, stony areas, either with upwellings or spring creeks close by, kind of in that 5-foot range. So if they don't have that, there's very special parameters for them to spawn. And if they don't have that, then you could stock a lake like this with trout, and they do so good until the end of their life, and then they can't reproduce. But by paddling this lake 2 or 3 times now and not marking a fish, well, maybe one.
Yeah, it's not looking super convincing right now. Nice little lake, yeah, not seen by many people. There's not even a campfire pit on the side. Most lakes you can find some sort of an old fire pit, but I haven't noticed one here. So, we're gonna give this a couple more passes. It's really not a big area, it's only a small area of the lake that's actually the deep pocket, and generally if you're gonna find fish in a lake, you're gonna mark at least some sort of life, whether it be suckers or perch or whatever, or trout. But so far we haven't marked any big arcs on bottom, other than that one possibly. And then I marked something small high up on the other end. So, likely bait, but I didn't even notice any minnows. You want to go look for minnows? Yeah, we got to cross off some boxes here.
If there is trout, they got to have forage. So I saw a leech, but leech live in ditches, so
Let's look for some minnows.
like we need to see some life. Like there's bullfrogs, so trout eat frogs, but not in July.
Lots of bullfrogs.
There he is, he's getting mad at me.
Look for minnows. We're gonna try to have a banger for episode 4. This was just a shot in the dark, last minute kind of thing, kind of like episode 1. So, as you may have seen now, there's a bit of a pattern where we have different hierarchies of lakes that are on our hit list. Where we have lakes that they're like, okay, someone told us that they caught fish in there. So that's a person actually telling you, not just going off of a map and a hunch, you know. Whereas then there's lakes like this, where this was a last minute plan. We said, let's go into there and give it a try. Doesn't look like it's accessed much. It's pretty quick to get into, and it checks the boxes. All right, well, we did a pass up the other shore, again a little deeper, and then we came down the middle of the lake just out of curiosity to see how deep it was gonna actually get. We hit 55 feet.
55 feet in a little pothole lake.
Just kind of a trough, runs deep down the middle. No fish. We are going to our backup plan.
Brookies or bust, episode 3 is a bust.
We're giving it a bust. Yeah, we're gonna call it early.
Now, the question that we always ask is, would you go back? No. This one I probably wouldn't come back.
Unless I heard something from somebody else.
Yeah, if I could confirm it elsewhere, then maybe. But I would say, other than that, it'd be the first and last time that I've been here. But you can't catch fish in hidden lakes that nobody knows about if you don't try. And you can't fish every lake in Algonquin Park without fishing every lake in Algonquin Park.
That's right.
So it's a win-win for me.
We crossed it off.
It's off the list.
It's colored in on the map now.
Yep.
The literal map. So if you haven't seen our Algonquin content before, check it out. We have a great playlist, and yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. Stay tuned next week for episode 4 of Brookies or Bust. Anything you got to say, Lyle?
Look at the minnows,
There's lots of minnows.
but no trout.
Makes you wonder, what is episode 4 gonna hold, eh?
Is it gonna be a brookie or bust?
All right, I'm Brendan,
And I'm Lyle.
and we are the Average Joes. Don't forget to subscribe.
All right, so I'm just sitting here. I have a Wayne rig out now. Kind of got a little gusting, blowing the bobber around, so cast out a Wayne rig kind of as far as I could get it. And now that I'm being kind of just quiet and sitting here, there's trout. Well, they might not be trout, but there's fish jumping or kind of rising, small fish, like 5-6 inch fish rising right here on the edge of the break. I can see where it drops off, and they're cruising that edge, and every once in a while you'll hear a whoosh. So just need maybe one of them to bite and confirm whether or not they are trout and whether or not there's trout in this lake. Oh, I had something. Got one.